Welcome back to Railroader. We are hanging out with the 6000, just coming out of the tunnel. Last time we were going into the tunnel, now we're coming out of the tunnel. And yeah, we're kind of just figuring things out here. We're on our way back up to Whittier, but I just noticed that Wilmot is leaving, so I have to go up here to Barker's and set up the passing track. There we go. Okay. All right, so we have number 10 following the number 2, correct? Or sorry, no, that's the yeah, the number 10 and number 2 are just doing this. Where is Slay Micah? Did we pass already? No, it's Barker's spur. This is the spur right here. Okay. So we'll be okay. Alright, we're at Dillsboro here. MR1, or number 1 here. Oh, we're good to go. That's good. Let's send this off. Go ahead and send that off. Let's go up here. Okay. And then all right. Which way are you going? Okay, you're reverse. So once you get to Silva, that's the only stop. Alright, cool. We're gonna do the Wilmot curve, so. Alright, let's see. Where are we here? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about this. Oopsie. We gotta look at some more milestones. So we got like a branch. These are fuel stands, Fontana Lake Bridge, Hillsboro Yard, I don't care about signals. I don't see a way to use them, as far as I know. So I don't really care about signals. I think this is. Oh, this just needs one car. Okay, and the car should be in there on the next day, right? And then 18 cars. Okay, we'll do the water column. And we'll do the first phase for Larkham Branch. I'm just waiting for these guys to show up. Why are the brakes on? What's happening here? see something here? What the? What just happened? I have no idea. Come on. Too slow. Come on. We're almost there. By the way, to those of you guys that do see this quite often, if you want me to stream this, because I think that this game it seems better as a streamed game, but I don't know if I'll get any kind of viewership on it. And streaming is a little more difficult for me because I would have to do it like in the middle of the night when my kids and my wife are asleep. But if you do want me to stream it, let me know. You know, say it in the comments. Hey, streaming it is fine. We'll still watch the VODs or whatever. But that would make things much simpler if you guys would let me know. And hey, I've noticed there's a decent amount of people that are watching the videos that aren't subscribed. Subscribe. That way you can see the video again or the next episode that comes out and stuff like that. That's also very, very helpful. So let's go look at this guy. Not approaching anybody, you dum-dum. There you go. Alrighty. But yeah, subscribe, like, and let me know if streamed is fine. Also, let me know if, let me know what's going on. Do you like the game? Do you not like the game? What do you think the things could change in the game? Say something. Say hi. Say bye. Say whatever. Say anything. It's fine. Whatever you say. It all helps. I promise. Unless you don't like me, in which case, say something anyway. That way I can know why you don't like me. That's totally not reverse psychology, I promise. Okay, so we're already here. I'm going to manual you. And then I'm going to go ahead and start slowing down. So the way I see this going is I'm actually going to put the this game does this. Like, sometimes weird camera angles make things way too difficult. It's 1,000 tons. That'll be like another, what? Another 600 tons? It's not bad. Not bad at all. Also, another thing I wanted to mention. So I'm actually planning on doing some changes to the way that I do things. I know some of you guys probably noticed that I've added more content on a daily basis. So there's now the Factorio, there's the Railroader, but there's also Noita. I want to have 4 different videos come out a day, but I want to be varied with it, in the sense that I want to have a little bit more variation in the kinds of videos that I put up, gameplay-wise. So I want my first video to be always Factorio and Factorio likes, like city builders and stuff like that. I want my second video to come out. It's probably going to be more focused on shooters, just because I do enjoy shooters and I don't get to play them enough. Shooters and probably like single player stuff, if you know, if that counts technically. My third slot would be indie games or single player games. I haven't decided that yet. So my second and third slots would be kind of up in the air for now as far as what I think should go and what shouldn't go in there. So, but my fourth slot will always be trains, something with trains. Right now it's Railroader. I have considered putting in Derail Valley, just because I do enjoy Derail Valley, but Derail Valley is one of those games that you can't play a lot of because it's very grindy as well, right? But whenever Century of Steam comes out, I'm really interested in putting that in there. I've considered Steam and Steel, the Roblox game as well. I've considered Railroads Online, but I don't know how I feel about Railroads Online. Kind of conflicted with that game because I enjoy it, but I also don't enjoy it. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, you know. But yeah, let me you guys let me know. You know, what do you think? Like I said, I do this mainly because I want to keep track or keep on the same games that I'm always playing. I have this issue where I jump around a lot, so this is mainly for my sake, honestly. Like, yeah, I do talk and I have fun and I have laughs and I talk like I'm talking to, you know, anybody on a normal basis, even though there's probably very little people that actually pay attention to me talking. But I do it for more my benefit of me sticking to things, because I can be very, very, I can jump around a lot in games, and I'm trying to avoid doing that as much as possible. Just because I want to be able to stick to a game and enjoy that game and kind of get the full experience on that game, and I have not been doing that because of how much I jump around in games. So this does help me with that. But I'm also open to suggestions, right? If you guys find train games like, hey, you know, you like Railroader, you might like this other game too, try it out. I might do like a try it out series, and then if it, you know, people do enjoy it, I'd actually stick with it, right? So there is that as well. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, right? I am more than willing to take suggestions, and there is a possibility that in the next channel update or the next update of one of the games that I find interesting that I want to put up, I'll actually put a bit of a channel update and let people know what I'm thinking and see where it takes me. Although the last time I did a quote-unquote channel update, I stopped playing for a very long time. So, you know, I'm going to be honest. I don't know how these work. Like, is that how this works? Yes, this guy's struggling right now. That's for sure. All right, let's go back to... Oh, well, actually... Martin. I'll come back to it just to check on it. You are switched against, as you obviously should be, because that's the proper way for you to be. Where are we? We are coming up on Whittier. That's good. Means I can set you to go on a sidetrack for now. And I'm going to do this really quick. That way you don't try to escape this. Okay. So 6,000 and the number 1 are taken care of. £1,300 or 1,300 tons. It's a pretty good weight up this hip. You know, I'm sure that this did happen. Back in the day. I just don't know how common it was and how big the trains would have been. Because this is pretty dangerous to do, right? You got two engines pushing like this without any kind of way of talking back and forth besides signals. We'll go in here. Oh. No. You are low on coal and water, sir. Tree gonna fit in there? Let me go like up to here. Right, let's go to the 6,000. Robinson. Relation hardwoods. Damn it. Switch was lined against it. Come on, come on. Yeah. Shut up. Nope. Well, let's go over here and make sure that it's not going to try to take off into the sunset, as it were. All right. Okay. All right, so now we got all this stuff for this guy to handle. Let's just manually real quick. And I'll select the forward. But anyways, my continued thoughts are, so I do like train games, and I like factory games, and I like indie games, but I'm also a very big shooter fan, and I haven't been playing a lot of shooters recently, mainly because I've been focusing on things like Railroader and Factorio, and I've been playing Helldivers with friends. I don't want to put that up. I know that might seem silly, because that's like one of the most obvious answers. Like, dude, put Helldiver content. I don't have a lot of Helldiver content that I've been willing to put up, because when I'm with my friends and my friends are with me, we get pretty rowdy in sometimes not the nicest ways. So it's not the best option when it comes to posting stuff on YouTube. And they help me stick to those games rather than me posting on YouTube to stick to them. But shooter games, like, for example, I'm very fond of the Escape from Tarkov formula, that very detailed aspect of the game and stuff like that. I'm not fond of the PvP, and with the recent shenanigans they pulled off, let's just call it that instead of what I actually want to call it. I have some strong words about what I feel about that, but we're not going to use those words here. Anyway, I've thought about, Incursion Red River, which is something very close to it. I'm not sure if Gray Zone Warfare has a PvE mode that would fit into this bucket. But there's also SP Tarkov, which I've very much considered in the past posting online, just to keep me on task and keep me towards, some goals. So I don't know. I've had a lot of thoughts about those kinds of things. As far as railroad games go and train games go, there's not much right now that I'm really into. Railroad is one of them. Derail Valley has always been an on and off game for me. Railroads Online has a lot of what I want without having a lot of what I want. It's a very mixed bag for me. Because I feel like they've added a lot of crap to the game that doesn't make the game any better. It just makes it more of the same. And honestly, that's not exactly the best endorsement, in my opinion, right? You want to take what you have and make it better, and then add to it. And that they weren't really doing that. So, as far as Railroads Online, okay, let me slow down. That's not probably going to be one of those that I consider. Depending on the situation, maybe I might stick to it a little bit more if I'm doing it as a YouTube video. But I'm really looking forward to Century of Steam. I know that for a fact. I've played Steam and Steel quite a bit. It's also very close to what I would enjoy in a video game that has to do with rail and stuff like that. My only issue with Steam and Steel is it's none of the trains that I'm looking for. I like American trains. And just full transparency, I am not a train expert by any means. By even the smallest inkling of the word. I am a train fan that knows a little bit about trains. Like, for example, I know this is a 460, right? I understand that. I understand what that means. I understand like the different valve gears that exist. I don't know how they all work, and I can't recognize them off the top of my head. Like, this is technically a slide valve gear, I think. I mean, there's an oiling line, but I think this all slide valve gears have. But like, for example, I can't right off the top of my head without right off the top of my head without maybe looking into it, know that this is exactly this type of valve gear and this is exactly how it works, right? Like, I don't have that kind of expertise. Like, I know this is a dynamo, right? And this is powering my front headlight. I know the basics of how this works. I know how some of these guys had air and how that air worked. I know how the train air works and how it doesn't work like a truck, that kind of stuff. But I don't have the expertise of just being able to look at something and know exactly what it is instantly. I can look at it and be like, okay, I don't understand exactly what that is, but I can look into information about it. Anyway, I went off on a tangent. Now I don't remember exactly what I was talking about. Darn. Anyway, so that's why for example, I like Railroader, even though it's not the most detailed game, even though there's a lot of oopsies. It's the nicest word to put it when it comes to some of the authenticity and some of the realistic aspects of it. I'm okay with that because it pushes further what we have ever had when it comes to train games. But that's also why I'm looking forward to something like Century of Steam. Because Century Steam is trying to be very close to wow, all of these are going in there. I can't fit all these in there. I just noticed. Century Steam is trying to be the most authentic and realistic, but also giving people options. And I think that that's something that a lot of modern games kind of miss out. One of the reasons why I played another game that me and my friends and my wife and like my brother-in-laws loved playing was Ark. Part of the reason why we loved playing Ark was because we could adjust it to the way we liked playing. There wasn't a quote-unquote intended way that the developers wanted people to play, but we also had the capability of making it do what we wanted and making it play the way we wanted. And that to me was very important. And also, I need to find out where the 6,000 is because... Okay, you're over here. All right, so you haven't reached pricing yet. Good. And that to me is a lot more important. That to me is a lot more important than just genuineness or realism. Sorry, not genuineness. To me, it's more important that you allow people to play the way they would enjoy the game, rather than pigeonholing everything into this is the only way to play it and you play it any other way and you're wrong. I think that that's not exactly the best way. And of course, if that's the way a developer wants to make their game, that's of course they're right. But I think that more people or more games would be much more liked and much more fondly remembered if they allowed you to be more flexible with the way they worked, right? For example, that's part of the reason why I like SP Tarkov, which if you are just a railroad playing game and all you're here is for train games and stuff, I can understand why that would make what I'm saying to you makes no sense. But SP Tarkov is a mod of a very, very realistic shooter game. There's a lot of realism in that game. Sometimes, honestly, to like the detriment of the game, if I'm being honest. There's some things that they could stand to not be so realistic, but then again, there's also things that they make way too gamified. They're like a very weird blend of things, in my opinion. Well, they've never really been fond of giving people a choice, right? You play the game the way we intended. And while I understand that as far as it comes to like vision and stuff like that, I also understand that sometimes you have made a platform for the flourishment of ideas. That's part of the reason why something like Arma is so incredibly popular, right? And why it spawned something like PUBG, right? That's part of the reasons why something like, for example, the Source engine and some of the old Source games were so impactful, because they were big on letting people tinker, on letting adjust things, right? That's part of the reason why I think Ark has survived for as long as it has, even though they've made so many stupid decisions. Ark Survival Evolved, to those of you who don't know, is a survival game based around dinosaurs. It's the easiest way to describe it. It's a survival game. Its main gimmick is that there's dinosaurs in the game. It's a very cool game, with a lot of really crappy decisions being made, but it survived around a long time because people were allowed to tune it and tweak it and change it to the way they liked and the way they wanted modified. I think if Escape from Tarkov prided itself in being a platform, basis where people could alter and change things and make things different and kind of adjust them to what they want, while still touting that still very tailored experience on official servers. I think that Tarkov would literally be one of those things that explodes into much bigger audience. But I don't think they're ever going to do that, because there's some leadership issues, or not issues, but leadership woes in Tarkov, especially at the moment. and to those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. There's some leadership issues and some leadership woes at the moment when it comes to Tarkov and the company that's making it. But yeah, I'm gonna park this now. All of this to say, if you have any opinions or any ideas as to what I should or shouldn't do with oops, I forgot about this guy. I need you, sir. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I will continue my train of thought. Oh crap! You are still running, aren't you? Yes, you are. Still pushing up against that brake. All right. Go ahead and select this guy. Road. Let's go yard, reverse. Let's go 10 cars. Okay. Sorry. All of this to say, if you have any ideas on what I can do with regards to maybe other games like Railroader that I'm interested in, or Factorio, or games kind of like Noita. I know that I've considered Noita. I've considered Dead Cells as part of something that Noita, because Noita's pretty much a roguelike. And so is Dead Cells. But I've also considered using that slot as well for more single-player games, things like Horizon Zero Dawn, like using them as a backlog section, because I do have a massive backlog in Steam. But yeah, if you're like, hey, you know, I think you'd really enjoy this game. It's very similar to Railroader or very similar to Factorio. Let me know. Definitely let me know. I'm open to suggestions. And I will probably, whenever I do decide to, you know, get the grit together to go through my backlog and start working on that, I'll show you guys the ginormous list of backlog that I have. But anyway, that'll be it for today. So I will see you guys next time, where I am passing by here very rapidly, and I need you to stop, please. So, oopsie. Here we go. So, I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.